everyone, welcome to another episode of Driven. My name is Rivers Pierce from Boomtown, and today we are in lovely, sunny Greenville, South Carolina.
In the hood.
We have just entered the hood. Luckily, the camera's rolling, so this may be the last you see of us. I am with one of our great clients here in Greenville, Haro Setian. I said all that right?
You did.
Do I need to spell it?
Most people skip the last name.
We just call him Haro. With the Haro Group here with Keller Williams in Greenville, South Carolina. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your team and kind of what your story is here.
Our team just found out today.
Today?
We were ranked 110 in the country. First time we made the 1,000, the Wall Street Journal rankings, the 1,000. We're ranked 110 in the country, so there's only 109 teams that sold more houses than we did. On the volume side, on the volume side, it's a little weaker because this is not a high price point market.
But how many units is that?
We sold 404 houses last year.
404 houses last year. That's awesome.
And we're at 297 closed and pending this year, so our target is to break 600.
That's awesome. Congratulations, my friend. That's a huge accomplishment, as you know. So
this is the location.
And this is we're driving by where his new location is hopefully going to be, or where they're looking at as they're expanding their team out and growing.
Yep.
So you're not from Greenville, though?
I'm not from Greenville.
Where are you from?
I grew up in Boston. Boston, Massachusetts.
How long you been down here?
So I came for college in 1995.
Okay.
And eventually graduated from Clemson with a degree in economics.
Okay.
I went to live in Chicago for a year, and then I went overseas for about a year. Then eventually came back to South Carolina, was in another industry, and then in the height of the market, the most beautiful time to get into real estate, 2009.
Oh, okay.
Sold 33 houses in my first 12 months.
Yep.
And then late 2010, I'm on my own. Well, first two things I do late 2010, I hire a coach. So I have no money, and I hire a coach.
Yep.
And I hire an administrative assistant right away.
Okay.
Now, that person lasted 4 months.
Yep.
Just because I had no clue what I was doing.
Yeah. But you got to have an assistant, right?
But I had an assistant. and the mindset right in the beginning was, look, this paperwork is... I can hire someone for $15, $20 an hour to do this work, and I can go do work that pays $80, $90, $100, $120 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So I was an economics major. I got my master's in economics.
And economics made sense.
And just the economics of that specific conversation was, all right, like I'm not going to spend my time doing these tasks.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that I just particularly don't enjoy doing those tasks.
And probably not what you're best at doing.
And so you can call it a laziness thing. You can call it and that's fair. Like I'm truly lazy on certain things. You can call it an entitlement thing. Like I don't want to do this, like the millennial. And I'm not even a millennial, but it's kind of I don't want to do that work. But I didn't want to, and I just hired for it right away. So that began this process of learning how to get into business with people. And I screwed it up a bunch of times. And I still have, like, as recently as last year, I had a hire that I made that lasted 2 months.
Yeah.
And this is a direct report to me, not in the team. So anyway, that just started the process of people ask about hiring all the time, and it's just like, just go. Just do it. Just start. You're going to suck at it, just like anything else you do the first time. Or your odds are that you're going to suck. You might not suck. You might nail it the first time, but again, it's probably luck, not skill.
Yeah.
And it does happen sometimes. Like, for instance, the person that runs the Haro Group now, I hired without any process.
Really?
Yeah, I just literally shot off the hip. His name's Moses Nickerson. And Moses is an incredibly gifted leader. Frankly, does it way better than I would ever do it. I'm too much of a squirrel chaser. I've got like this. Some people talk about the founder's curse. Like you're just like
you're all over the place.
Psychotic, right?
Yeah.
Like just slightly schizo.
Some people call it ADD. Some people call
ADD.
Some people call it genius.
Yeah, some people call it genius. I don't even know if I'll go there. Like Moses just does a terrific job of running the organization on a day to day. Like I couldn't. When one of the mantras you hear is hire better than yourself.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was doing that, but that's it. In fact, at that time, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Because I hired someone that had the capacity to execute strategy much better than I could.
you could put the strategy piece out there.
Yeah, so
put it all together.
It's vision, and right now, I mean, it's awesome. Our conversations are awesome. Like, we beat the hell out of each other. But what comes out of it is what I feel like is a pretty good organization, which, and last year, I mean, we had 50%, right between 50 and 60, I don't remember the exact number, percent revenue growth. And Moses drove that. I was largely out of the business all of 2016, working on another business launch. 50-60% revenue growth and 100% profit growth.
That's fantastic.
And he did that. Yeah, we've run 50-60% growth for the last 5 years.
And that's running itself. You built a business that's now building itself.
Yeah, so like that's when I got into Keller Williams, and it's not a Keller Williams plug, and it is. That was kind of the mantra of the company is business is worth having.
Yeah.
And so from the early days, I heard about, okay, you can go to, if you've seen the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, you can go to the 7th level.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
How can we do that?
Yeah.
Let's try that.
Well, and that's the mantra. I mean, build the business that builds itself. I mean, that's what you're doing.
And the cool thing about it is what it does is it opens up opportunity for people.
Yeah.
So like our people have opportunity that they may not have had otherwise.
Right.
And I think that's what helps us attract really great people is they're part of a winning team. Like we're number one in the upstate now.
Yes.
We were the number one Keller Williams team for the last couple of years in the upstate of South Carolina, and now we're the number one team across all brokerages.
Again,
upstate of South Carolina.
Congratulations for that and the real trends.
Yeah.
Big day, big year.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going on.
Like we feel like we're just getting started.
Right.
That's the crazy.
So how many people are on the team?
I think stateside we're at 26.
Okay.
And when I say stateside, we have 5 VAs in the Philippines.
Okay. How many are agents?
The 26. So how many are functioning as agents?
Buying, selling real estate.
Yeah, our admin, we try to get them
licensed.
All our full-time admin in Greenville, we like them licensed because they're working on transaction management, working with listing clients, and we want to make sure that they're able to have the conversations they need to have. So we want to make sure they have the proper credentials. 8 buyer's agents, a builder trade-in agent. We have 3 inside salespeople currently, so they're on the phones outbound, and kudos to them, FYI. So we started the year with 9. So here's a failing forward moment. We started the year with 9 ISAs.
Stateside.
Here. Yep. No, I don't know that I could do the ISA from the Philippines. Right. There are people who do it, so good for them. So we started with 9. The 3 last month, we measure held appointments. That's our driving metric for that department.
Held appointments.
Right. Like, so not the appointment set.
They actually showed up.
But actually, like, the appointment happened.
Physically had an appointment. Right,
because that's your at bat.
Yes.
Right. Absolutely. Everything else is on deck.
Yeah. Good point.
We want the at bats. And if we have enough at bats, we know we'll hit a certain amount. We'll get a hit, and that'll get us the home runs that we need to build the business that we need to build. So that crew in May had more helds out of 3 people, held appointments, than the 9 did ever in a month.
Gosh.
So we got the right ones.
Wow.
And we had to learn some stuff in that process. Like there were, and it's not so much like, I don't want to get into like good person, bad person. That's not it. Like making sure that the individual matches the role and the requirements of the role. Yeah. Like everyone's talent for something, and we are getting better and better at identifying the right talent for this role in our system.
Yeah. Cool, man. All right, so it's a big team.
It is.
I didn't realize you were running that big of a team.
Yeah.
I don't meet too many people in the 20-plus range.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, and some of the things that we're really proud of, our average buyer's agent last year closed 40 transactions.
On average.
We've never had a buyer agent or a listing agent that joined our team that got through their first 100-day training that's left. Oh, sorry, 1.
Okay.
1.
Do you have any rules in place or any program in place for that 100 days? I assume something?
Something.
Yeah.
Don't ask me what. Moses.
Moses handles all
Moses.
that,
Hashtag
right?
Moses.
Hashtag Moses.
Check with Moses.
So
we do. I mean, it's a
Do they have to close a transaction or two? I mean, they have to get something.
Yeah. And then their requirement post 100 days is 36 in the next 12 months.
To stay on the team.
To stay on the team.
Gotcha.
And if you're sliding on that, there's some redemption period. Like you can get back in the game. We just really want to be in business with people who want to make $100,000 or more, particularly on the sales side.
Yeah.
And our inside salespeople, with the track record now that they're setting with last month's production, this month's production, even our inside salespeople, which is a whole different outside sales and inside sales. The inside sales, the cool thing is our goal was to make that like a really good financial opportunity. Yeah. And our inside salespeople the top ones will do 90 to 100,000.
The ISAs. Mm-hmm. I was talking to Anna Kruger, who you gave her first real estate job.
Yep.
And she was saying she's training some ISAs that are making six figures.
Yeah.
So
it's cool because they work 9 to 5.
They work 9 to. That's what we were talking about. She's like, if you don't mind being in one place and you want to actually have a 9 to 5 job and
be in real estate,
a regular job, cadence, I guess.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yep.
It's not for me. I mean, it's probably not for you either. But it's not for my personality type. But I think that's fantastic.
I think there was a time in my life I could have done that.
Yeah.
And it would have been really good training for where I am today. And we start everyone in kind of an ISA role. We call it agent in training. And then there's and this is in process too. This is evolving how we do this. But agent in training, they start on the phones, and then they can. I think I don't know exactly how Moses has this set up, but there's kind of do they move forward as an agent, like buyer's agent, listing agent, or do they move into and stay in the ISA department? Like we've got ISAs like that's what they want to do. Yeah. They don't ever want to be a buyer agent or a listing agent. Mm-hmm. They want to be an ISA.
And they make a good living.
They make a good living.
It's not as, I guess, ceilingless.
Yeah.
But
well, their vision, and it's cool because they've developed their own vision as a department now, and they want to beat Loken. Lance Loken out in Houston.
Which explain it for them, kind of.
Yeah, so Lance's team, I mean, I think Lance has been in the business 1 year more than I have.
Yeah.
And they'll do 2,000 units this year.
Killing
and we'll do 600.
Yeah. They're killing it.
Absolutely killing it. And they're I was talking to one of their ISAs at an event in Texas, and the ISA, because of referrals he had given to the listing department, had 20 listings on the market that day when I was talking to him.
Oh, wow.
I was like, that is a pipeline, right? Like that, for an ISA that's making a small percentage of the deal, to have 20 deals on the market, you got this steady paycheck.
Right, because it just keeps on giving. So you've been with Boomtown since when?
I want to say 2013.
Okay, 2013.
I had to beg you guys to take me on.
So for those of you who don't know, there was a time when Boomtown was a little more geo-exclusive, I guess.
Like hoity-toity.
It wasn't hoity-toity. Everybody in the space was geo's kind of.
What does geo mean?
Geo, G-E-O.
Oh, geo.
Geographically
got it.
exclusive.
Right.
Because
I understood.
It was a much tighter market.
Yep.
The market was not, as robust as it is now.
With as many players.
And there weren't as many people in the game, and there weren't as many people buying and selling.
Right.
And we had to be protective of the clients that we had to make sure that they were getting enough business. But you paid us enough money under the table to get on Boomtown, right?
Yes.
That's how I bought myself out of student debt.
It was actually alcohol purchases. I'm kidding.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. Okay.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Hashtag.
So that's what, 4 years now or so. And how many people did you have on your team then?
10, 7.
Okay, so you were a pretty good clip even then.
Yeah. We were admin heavy in the beginning. We're a little more agent heavy now.
Yeah.
We probably need to get to more of an equilibrium on that. But there was, when we finally got Boomtown, I think we had me on the listing side and then a buyer agent, Moses, with 2 showing agents. When we got Boomtown, that was
still pretty heavy into working real estate.
I was
transacting yourself.
Yep. So I personally used Boomtown for probably 2. Frankly, I don't look at it anymore. But
that's okay. But that was your goal, right? Get out of all of that.
Yep.
Run the business, and now you're kind of not even really running the day to day.
Yeah, no, we've, by following the systems and the models that were available through Keller Williams, like we have set up the business worth owning conversation where you've got a viable business that runs itself.
Yeah.
So we're doing that. I mean, we're looking at expansion, and I'll probably get involved in that at a higher level because I'm going to get bored with what I'm doing. But I like teaching, so I go around the country and teach. And
what are you teaching?
So there's I've developed a 4-hour how I went from 5 million to like all the failures from 5 million to we'll do 120 million this year. Like the failures from 5 million to 120. And then I teach Keller Williams Career Visioning course, which is the hiring process. And that was probably one of the best things I did was start teaching that class because it really forced me to get deep on the topic.
Absolutely. Made you better at what you're doing.
Yep.
So what other technology are you guys using as part of your operational stack? I mean, obviously you're using Boomtown, you use Dotloop, I guess, for your
Boomtown, Dotloop. We're also using Seize the Market, which is kind of a direct competitor with Boomtown.
What do you use?
It's a little bit expensive. Yeah, the thing that they've done a really good job on is we really feel like their transaction, like our ability to manage the transactions in there. I talk about Boomtown as a lead management system.
Yep.
And Seize the Market as our CRM. Now, and I say CRM with like this massive project management piece where we've got all the workflows for when we get a contract on a...
So from that, Boomtown gets you lead in the door, nurture till they go to a contract, then you're using them.
Well, no, so ideally the switch point, and I don't know how much this happens in reality, but the to me it's Boomtown nurture, set an appointment with, and that's when it goes into our CRM, which is Seize the Market, and then lifetime touches should happen in there. Now, our agents like Boomtown better, so I think they actually set up their lifetime touches for their past clients
in Boomtown,
where we wanted it to be an STM, because our goal was, what I'd love to happen is if someone calls in and they ask the name, that whoever can just type into the system and look up all the notes and history on that person so we can have that personal touch. But we're not there yet.
Right.
Like that's missing.
You know, I think there's a part of the market, like that's a lot of people are talking about that contract to close and then the post-close, kind of like there's a lot of people still vying to figure out that solution, I think.
Yeah. I want you to call as a past client, and as soon as we pick up the phone, say, the Haro Group, how can I help you? Hey, this is Rivers. Tickle Rivers, how are the kids?
Yeah,
right? Like that's my vision.
Yeah.
And we're not there.
Well, maybe we'll take that back to the team at home.
Love that.
To think about that.
So this STM, what else in the stack? STM, Boomtown.
Are you doing like Mojo Dialer, BombBomb, any of that stuff?
Mojo, Viral.
You're using Viral? Okay.
Not
VYRAL.
VYRAL. Really like Viral. It's just like a plug-and-play system for us to get touches out to our database via video.
Yeah, so Viral, what? So you record the video, you send it to them, and they take care of the rest, right?
They take care of the rest. They have access to all our databases. Yep. They, if we want it sent to a segment, they know how to do that.
Yep.
If we want it sent to the entire thing, they do that.
Yep.
So it's just a plug-and-play system. And I feel like there's so much potential that they have and intellectual capacity that we haven't even plugged into yet. Like, they have their own masterminds on marketing, and like there's just so much we haven't even touched yet.
Yeah, and
with them.
Greer and I have known Frank Klesitz, who's runs Viral for 6-7 years now, and like we're kind of the old school. We were the young guys back then. Now we're kind of like old.
Now you're like the granddaddies.
Right. And then who else? Josh Cunningham was with Viral. He runs Rocker Box now. Yep. Everybody's all grown up.
Yep.
So that's cool.
Taking our hits, but we're gonna earn our stripes a little bit more in the next recession.
That's the plan, right? So
Viral,
tech, so
Dotloop, Geckoboards.
So you're using Geckoboards for your internal team stats and things like that?
Yeah, I don't feel like we use it awesomely, but
are you using it like where everybody can see everything, full transparency kind of?
That's the intention.
The plan, right?
I don't know that it's perfect yet. And we're like remodeling our space, so we're having a lot of like transition stuff going on right now. Like the whole last year has been like this massive like
You've got a little bit going on.
transitional time. Yeah,
But the whole idea around the Geckoboard thing is so that everybody knows where everybody stands, how many transactions are going on,
Right.
holds each other accountable,
right.
just keep everybody everything transparent.
Yeah, so that's, I mean, I think one of the reasons we've done well is we really do have a culture and an infrastructure that that is accountability.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know that. I mean, I know they hold each other accountable, but the whole structure of the thing holds them accountable.
Gotcha.
Like everything that, like, our people are in the office every day at 8, on the phones by 9. Like, that's just the expectation. Like,
Gotcha.
It's not like an option. You don't come to work for us if you don't want to do that.
Right. Which is not your typical real estate agent mentality.
Agent, and I find a lot of teams that are a lot looser than that.
Yeah. Well, I've found that the teams that are winning are much tighter. Right.
I mean, I've never done. You've actually probably done way more research on this, or just maybe not. Maybe you wouldn't have called it research.
Yeah.
Just have the knowledge of the market better. But yeah, that's. I mean, that's the expectation.
Yeah.
You come to work with us. You're coming to work with us.
Are you guys doing?
Was that too direct?
No, that's what we want.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to get here is direct. Do you guys have like daily meetings, huddles?
Yeah, daily meetings. So actually, years ago, previous to my career in real estate, I heard this kind of mantra: leaders are readers.
Mm-hmm.
And in my mindset, like, if I'm going to employ people and I have the opportunity to speak into their lives, like, I want to help them become leaders.
Okay.
Like, the world needs more of those, and let's work towards that. Like, if I'm going to be working anyway, and with a little bit of intentionality, I can pour into people and create a culture that has leadership development in what it does, then that's what I want to do.
Right.
So from that perspective, early on, when it was like 4 of us, what we would do is I would buy a copy of a book for everybody, and every morning we'd take 15 minutes to read, and then 5 minutes of ahas, and then, any huddle stuff like stats from the previous day or whatever, what our goal was for the day or anything we needed help with, 30 minutes in the morning, and then to work. So now that's evolved into, that happens Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Wednesdays are all hands on deck meeting, which right now there's 26 of us, so that all hands on deck is in a small room, and it's pretty stuffy.
That's like your weekly sales meeting.
It's sales meeting, but all our admin are involved too, so it's more like an all company meeting.
Okay.
And we kind of like that. I feel like that's really helped us solidify culture. And solidify communication, make sure everyone's on the same page, like not have these silos.
Not that admin is just an admin thing and sales are doing all the real work. We're all in this together.
I do think there might be an opportunity in the future to have a specific sales meeting. Like, there are departmental meetings that do that, but we like that one time a week where everyone's together. Here's where we are, here's where we're going, here's how we're doing. Upcoming events, some training, like important issues. Bucket fills where they'll give a shout out about a team member,
right,
et cetera. So that's every morning,
and then the team holds themselves accountable as well.
Yeah, like, here's the cool thing. A lot of people ask, like, what's our mojo, and how have we done this? Like, we went, 2012. I started the year solo, and hired my first full-time assistant in, I think it was February. And that year, this team, the seed of it, closed 50 units.
Okay.
And here we are in 2017, 6 years, right?
Right.
This year we'll close 600.
Yeah.
So how do you go from 50 to 600 in 6 years? And I think probably the key piece is that, I see all these, I'm in Facebook groups with other people that have teams, and I see people talking about putting out ads for hiring, and that just makes me hurt inside.
Okay. Well,
that's like, it's the same. Like, I'm all for calling expireds and for sale by owners, and our team does that. And at the end of the day, we all know that the easiest transactions that result in the most future referrals, the least problems, are the ones where there's previous trust.
Yep.
Pre-transaction trust, if you will.
Sure.
if that's true in something where you spend maybe 6 to 20 hours with the person, whether they're a seller or a buyer, much more true is it if it's 8, 9, 10 hours a day, day after day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. So we want those. So our 26, like I think 6 or 7 go to church together, same church. I think 5 or 6 of them were in high school and college together.
Gotcha. So the network effect is that much more powerful from their core group.
Yeah, and so everybody has like, we've never hired, I say we've never, it's beginning to happen now, but we've rarely ever hired someone that we didn't know or that was a friend of someone we knew.
Right.
So there's that previous trust. And we really like, I was doing, so we have a part in our process hiring called the defense.
Okay.
So this morning, 2 hires were being defended. I was on the committee that was part of the defense committee. There's 2 hires that we're looking to make, and they were defending them. And I mean, one of the things I always ask is, what's their connection to us? Because to me, it's negative if there's not one.
Okay.
Like we don't, and it's not so much that it's negative, it's just we just don't have a proven data set around people that we don't know getting into business with us.
Right.
We do have a proven data set on people
that you do know
that have gotten into business. Yeah,
and that doesn't mean like they're all have to be best friends. It's just like they can vouch for you. There's some sort of
yeah, I mean, again, it's really hard to screw over people, right? Or not be a team player when you know they're, and that's why we also try to create space. Like this Saturday night, we're doing something called Family Forum.
Okay.
And so what that is we're going to take 2 couples from the team, me and my wife, and then Moses and his wife, because we've gotten some people that have gone in real estate in the last year and a half, and their spouse is adjusting to the schedule, right, of being a realtor. And so it's like, how do you guys do this? Like, how do you maintain marriage? How do you maintain being a good parent? How do you have time with your family and your kids when, you know, every other realtor in town wants to talk to you at 9 p.m.?
Yeah.
You know, and like we get a lot of pushback in town from other agents because like we tell our agents, like, don't answer the phone after 7.
Right.
Like, you've got a life and we want you to maintain that.
And you have to do that though. You have to make that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you have to push down on that. We have to have conversations about that. So we're doing this Family Forum thing. Well, it's, you know, we talk a lot about relationships and we all know they're important, and it's like when you work with people and you know their children and their children play with your children, and I'm not trying to like manipulate the process but that's kind of what I want. I really don't want to work with people that I don't enjoy being around, period. Right. So we enjoy being around them, and then if you enjoy being around them, it means you care about them. If you care about them, you care about what's important to them. And what's important to them is, you know, high on everyone's list is their family.
Yeah.
And so we just create those opportunities. And so like we just had last weekend was our annual summer picnic at my house.
With everyone. So
Kids,
you're creating
spouses.
a family within your team is a family.
Yeah.
Which then creates a much tighter culture of accountability, higher productivity probably.
Right, because when someone says, I'm paying off my dad so that my family doesn't, like, you know that family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, you know, like, it's like, wow, like, you're cheering them on. Right? Like,
What
you
can I
want
do
them to
help?
win. Yeah.
You got into it during the crash.
Yep.
During the worst time to get into it, which is also kind of the best time.
Yep.
You know, that combined, so the crash combined with the rise in technology, where you've got more and more, all consumers are exponentially more empowered than they were with pre-IDX, pre-internet. You know, so that the tech combined with the crash, combined with the millennial mindset, which is really they're growing up and moving in, taking over jobs and becoming the generation now. Do you think that the concept of home, right? What is home? Has changed in their mentality, or just in general, where people are saying, you know, they're not looking at I'm going to buy a home as the kind of like pinnacle of the American dream, kind of conceptually. Do you think it's more because we're more of a kind of transient society that people have are more interested in renting versus buying? Are you seeing that in this area or in general? You know, what are your thoughts on that? The concept of home, not home ownership so much, but what is home? You know, has changed a little bit.
It's hard to say, and I don't know if we're like in this weird town called Greenville where like there's still a pretty high emphasis on family, and a lot of people are family oriented. Like I was just in New York City a couple weeks ago, and when in New York City you tell people you have 3 children, their eyes cross. But I can't tell you the number of people I know here in Greenville that have 3 or 4.
Oh, easily. Sure.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I think that there's either Greenville attracts that, or it fosters that, or both.
Yeah.
And I think there's a good bit of, I don't know, maybe I'm not hanging out with millennials enough, but my whole team is pretty much millennial. Right? Like they're family people.
Yeah. So is family the nucleus? I mean, the home is kind of where the family is. I mean, so maybe it's and
maybe I'm in my own little like bubble, in my own little vacuum where like I talk about real estate as an investment for the future, and like you're going to build your wealth this way.
Yeah.
So maybe I gather around me people who think that way.
Track that. Yeah. Hey, Haro, really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Great being in Greenville, South Carolina. By the way, it's my hometown. So Haro 110 on Real Trends just came out today. Congrats. Number one team in Greenville, South Carolina. Continuing to crush it. Appreciate it. We'll see you guys on another episode. Thank you.
Beautiful.